Alright, so today I got to do a little bit of silver. I want to do some golden cording videos here, and I want to make sure that I've got enough to properly cord it. So, I've had a couple of questions regarding if the contacts are worth doing. So, what I'm going to do here is just get a quick yield on it. Might have to turn my vacuum pump off. Yep, hold on. Alright, back in business. That vibration of the vacuum pump makes the scale go crazy. So we're just going to do a quick before and after. Alright, so we're looking at about 33.5. And I'm going to use the Aqua Regia method. I've showed you that before on these ones. So what I'm going to do is target just the base metals. I want to keep all these little silver buttons, you know, right where they're at. So all that copper, the brass, that's what we're going to be going for with the Aqua Regia today. 33.6. No, 33.5. Let's see what we got. So it's been a little while since I broke the torch out. So I'll make sure we get a little bit of torch action going on today. So this is my incineration process, which I learned is very important to do. And ever since you guys steered me in the right direction, I have not done it. So again, thank you for all of your help. Alright, so we've got this incinerated, and I've got about 100 milliliters of distilled water in there. Let's do this without breaking, there we go, without breaking my new beaker. Quick inspection. Sweet. I think we got them all. Alright. Let's get this over to the lab. Alright, so just a quick heads up on why that's so important. If you look at that, I mean, you can see they are just pure silver. It cleans up all the carbon off of them. And they look great. They look like they are ready. They look like they're ready to be fixed up. They look like they're ready to be purified. Alright, so let's get back into this real quick. I'm going to zoom you out a little bit. We don't need this anymore. I do have a couple of pieces of silver here. I'll incinerate those later. They're from my IC chip. Figure out what to do with those, but put them back in here for now. Not that's a whole lot, but, and I don't want to throw off the yield with this, so I want you to know you're getting exactly what or what you'd be exactly getting for contacts. Well, at least if you had this the same amount with the same size and all that other variables in there. But alright, let me get my goggles on here. Get some gloves on. So I'm going to do another test here with just taking the silver out. I know I've been saying that for a while now, but I ordered special gloves for that. Dealing with hot sulfuric acid is very dangerous, and I don't think I would feel comfortable doing that in these. So I ordered some that would come well up to my elbows, so it'd give me a little more protection when dealing with that. Then we're going to grab hydrochloric acid. I think we're going to use the last of it. I got a very little amount left. Let's see here. That'll work. 100 milliliters on the dot. So we can see it's taking that copper on already. But we're going to want, got some gold settling out here. A hydrochloric acid beaker, or nitric acid beaker, along with nitric acid. And this is kind of a slow process because it's so easy to use too much nitric. You know, this will probably take like, I'm going to guess 15 milliliters, maybe 18 milliliters of nitric to get all that copper off of there. And why I do this way is because it doesn't touch the silver. Well, it will, but it takes quite some time because the hydrochloric acid does a pretty good job of protecting it. Turn that up. So from the last batch I had, or last couple of batches, that's the amount of silver chloride I got. So it's basically nothing, but that was because I used too much nitric. So the silver, I get all of the silver one way or another, whether it's the pure buttons or there's potentially a little bit of chloride that forms at the end. Let's see. I'm going to zoom in here. And we can see that nitric acid doing what it needs to do right off the bat. No heat, it's all room temperature. You can see how green it is right here. That's that copper just getting eaten away. You can start to see it over here too now. Try to do is just spread that evenly across the entire length of the bottom. That might be a solid piece of silver or silver coat, so that's probably going to be a silver chloride. But if you keep them like this where the copper's exposed, it does a really good job of just eating that copper. Let's see. Perfect example. So here we can see the base of that. See if I can get that in focus here. Nope. Hold on. Gotta take the gloves off. And I'm hoping that the new set of gloves I got too are a little more reusable. So you can see that the base is getting attacked, but you don't see any sort of bubbles by the silver. All right, let's get this on some heat. Foot's left off the bottom of the tripod. Working with one glove here. Put that on some heat and get it up top. There we go. We'll let that do what it needs to do, and I'll come back and roughly, probably, this is a pretty quick process. I actually really like it that way too. You know, probably, I would say 15-20 minutes, we'll stop putting out fumes or stop, you know, dissolving copper, and then I'll just put another 3 milliliters in, and it'll just keep going. Works really well. So I literally just went upstairs to get my silver bullion and my gold bullion, well, the homemade stuff anyway. And in that time, look at how dark that copper has gotten. It works really well, at least from what I've experienced. But on a side note, it's coming together. I know this hasn't really grown, but oh yeah, I'll show you that. I'll flip that over. I tried pouring this into a little bar. It was a circle, and everything else was bars. So I'm like, I gotta have it the same, you know. Except I can't wait when it's this size. That'd be awesome, huh? But so I got some stamps, some metal stamps, and I need some practice with that for sure. There's no question about it. You know, I like how those two turned up, but my G ended up kind of like in no man's land. But I still like this a lot, and I kept plenty of room for my my S, for my SilverStoll logo. And I'll probably keep this one. I'll remelt the other two. I just really like this one. I don't know why. I think the pour lines are cool. And it'll be my first pour with all my fun stuff on there, and be cool little keepsake, you know. And then once I get good at it, I'll have a before and after. It started here, and now we're here. But so this is the gold I got from yesterday's project. Oh, down it goes. Easy come, easy go, right? I hope not. Except it's really bright. I would be able to find that, no problem. It's coming along. Got a little eye. It took me like, man, that little bar probably took me, I would say 7, 8, maybe 9 attempts to get this even close to looking good. That was tough. So I didn't want to melt it together because I didn't want to have to pour this again. So after I get a good chunk, what I'll do is I'll melt them all together and then try to pour another bar. And I'll record it that time, because God, man, I know a lot of you guys are gonna laugh like no other watching me struggle. Only because you've probably been there before, and you know the pain and suffering where I'm at. So, but it's too funny, but it's worth it. I really like it. Now, like I said, I just can't wait till it's this big. And we are putting out some pretty good fumes now. Again, that was just 3 milliliters, maybe not even, maybe even a little less, and it does. It's just working away. But all right, I'll let this do its thing, and I'll get back to you here in a minute. All right, let's see where we're at. This is like black, so that's telling me we got a lot of copper in solution. Let that cool down for a second. I got tongs coming. I'm worried that it's going to be like a two-handed action, though. So I might have to get, I don't know if I'm going to bend them a little bit so I can, you know, properly, I don't know, we'll figure it out when they get here. All right. Little hot plate. This is where it's going to get interesting. So I would typically pour this off. Yeah, that's still hot. Yeah, that's what I'll do. We'll grab a beaker here. Pour some of this off. We'll pour it right back in there. I don't know what they put in that stuff that makes it so hot. So we still have a little bit of copper there. Let's see. But so if we look, my contact is completely left behind, untouched, but all of the copper around it is eaten off of there. So that's why I do the aqua regia. So that was 3 milliliters, and I can see quite a bit of them in there that are nice and clean. For example, another one. But that eats everything off of there. Let's see. That's still got some copper on it. So we'll put another 3 milliliters in there. I'll put a little more distilled water, and we'll just keep it going that way. Slowly put that in by the side. Distilled water. And I might need to do hydrochloric acid instead. But we'll see how this goes. That's what I usually would do, is that, but because I left since I ran out, we're just going to go this way. Worst case scenario is it'll just evaporate off of there. Put that back on our heat. And we'll let that boil for a little longer. But that's why I do it that way. It works really well. The thing I want to test with the sulfuric acid will be dissolving everything, or dissolving all the silver and leaving all the base metal. And I want to try it because I've got a couple of them that, like I unsweat. And so I know I've got like silver left over. Not just these, I got a bunch of those ones. I just wanted to hold on to them because I didn't really know how to get that stuff. So, but my research down the research rabbit hole, I think I've come up with a way, and now it's just to put it to test. All right, we'll let this boil for another half hour and see where we're at. that's a bummer. We got a liter. That's all I had left. It's definitely pool season, but I did get some goodies. So on the way back home. Oh, there's that fiasco. Yeah, they're out of my gallons. That's okay. We need some. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna go 150 milliliters. I can't say same. We're gonna go a little more. And then we'll do another 3 milliliters nitric. I think my hydrochloric acid was too saturated for protection of the silver, because we were starting to get, let's see here, you can see on the top, that's that silver chloride floating up there. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, this process, you do get a little bit of it, but what I think is happening was that because my solution was so dirty that it just kind of went after everything. When I keep it clean like this, it usually just goes after the copper, and then this would be the total amount of silver chloride I get. So, but that's all right. We'll let it do its thing for another half hour, and I'll go ahead and pour that off and do it like I normally would. No adding distilled water. We'll just put new stuff in there. It's easier to see and works much better. Alright, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna go ahead and dump that off into the other one. Nice and black again, all that copper in solution. Alright, so let me rinse this out quick. Bunch more silver chloride coming out of solution. So we can see there's very little bits of copper left. So this would be 9. I don't think I'm going to put another 3 in there, because that did pretty good work on that last batch. So we can see there's the silver chloride. So like I said, that second batch, I think I goofed it up by adding distilled water instead of more hydrochloric. So we're going to do a little bit of hydrochloric, basically just enough to cover the contacts. And then, let's see here. I think I'm going to try to get maybe 1 milliliter of nitric. So I've currently got 3 in the pipette, but we're going to go just a little bit, and that should be, there we go. throwing stuff around here. Alright, let's see if we can nothing getting attacked yet. Oh yeah, there's little bubbles. Spread those out a little evenly on the bottom. There we go. So we got tons of those contacts left. I think I might need to add one more little bit of nitric acid. We probably have to add maybe another milliliter, but we'll find out here in a minute. Go ahead and turn that up. That might be the last one though. Might be the last one. We'll find out. But I usually don't get that much. Silver chloride. Like I said, I should have just went and got it, but well, you live and you learn, right? Distilled water doesn't work. Clean up my workstation here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, well, we'll let that do its thing and then I'll keep you posted. Alright, let's see what we got now. Oh, I see a little bit left. There's just a tiny amount of copper on there. So I probably got 50 milliliters of hydrochloric acid in there. A very minute amount. And then we're going to add a little bit more nitric. Try to get one more milliliter in there. Well, let's see what that happens. See, going right after the copper already. So we're just going to go to 2.5. We're not going to go to 3. There's not a whole lot of material. Probably should, there you go. I just went back to 2.5. There's not a lot of material in that beaker, so I don't want to overheat it. But this should pretty much take care of the rest of that copper. Maybe 1 more milliliter. There's not a whole lot left. You know, and depending on how much we have left here, I might not go anymore. Wow, look at that. It goes right for that copper. Look at how dark that got. And here, this is a perfect example. So you can't see hardly any reaction around just the silver contacts. Even if there was a reaction happening, I mean, silver nitrate's clear, so you wouldn't see it, but you would see that foam around there, like you see here. So, see that big chunks of copper coming out. So that's kind of why I use this use this method here. Let's see. A little bit there. So for silver chloride, here's my other one. So I got, that was from that last gold. That was, well, that was half of it. So I did half silver chloride and half cement silver. I probably got between the two, a quarter of that jar filled up. So we'll wait a little longer before we do that. I'm actually really excited for that one. I think I said that on the last video. And then trace amounts of gold left here. Very minimal. Get some good color out of that copper. That stuff is fascinating. I really do enjoy this hobby. Plus, it's cool. I get to talk to you guys. You guys are super helpful. Gals too. Had some gals comment on me and definitely show me some better practices. Not too many. I think what I'm going to do is, so this whole YouTube thing, I'm obviously new to it, but there's some really cool app. It's called YouTube Studio, and it's more so for the content creators, and the amount of information it gives you it's unreal. Like, I got genders, ages, and it breaks it down to 18 to 25, 25 to 32, 32 to, so on and so forth. And then it breaks it down. I got, United States and I think it's United Kingdom, Australia, China. Breaks all the down to the percentage on who you can, who you can see. And I thought another cool idea is, just to support all of my fellow refiners, is to put the flags of, if you're 5% of your of my subscribers or my views are from a certain origin, I'll get the flag mounted up here, just a little one, so I can get a bunch of them. I think that would be kind of cool. Just to say thanks. Well, I'm going to let that do its thing, and then I'll come back down when we're done with all that copper. Alright, let's see what we got left. Bad boy's a little hot. See that silver chloride coming out of the bottom there with that haze? Probably will get a little more out of this too. Nope. Yeah, we'll just... There we go. And one more for good measures. Alright, let me clean this up a little bit. Well, actually, we're going to put that So we got a little bit of silver chloride on the bottom of this. Not the end of the world. Alright, get that out of the way. Alright, so we'll get that, this we won't do anything with this, but we'll get a measurement on there, and we use less than 500 milliliters of water, or waste I should say, acids and distilled water. So if I wanted to, I could evaporate that off and condense this so that it's less waste solution. But that's one of the positives. It doesn't take much at all to get the silver clean. Now the silver it's not going to be like 3/9 fine clean by any means. There's no question about that. So I don't want you guys to think that what I'm doing here is, this is going to purify the silver. This is basically just cleaning all of the base metals off of it, right? So that actual silver alloy, whatever percentage that may be, is still, if they're 80% or 925. Now that, I'm not too sure on what they are exactly, but basically at that point what I would do, instead of cementing it out, is I would just melt that right up and go ahead and put that in the SilverStoll. And then the SilverStoll does the work, and I don't have to waste any more nitric and then waste any more copper by trying to cement that out. It's all taken care of in 2 steps. So, well, I'm gonna let that evaporate, and then we'll get a weight on that bad boy. All right, well, we finished up with our boils and our cleaning, and we are now evaporated. So we got 9.5 grams of silver out of those contacts. Not a bad little yield. But there's no more copper on them. They do look a little tarnished. I can't even say, well, that wouldn't be gold, but yeah, turned out good. That one looks like, oh, it's just reflective, just tarnished. But that's what they end up like. Then what I'll do with these is, well, what I would typically do with these is I would melt them up, and then they would go straight into the SilverStoll. But because I currently got this copper cell going, and I got some gold that needs encording, I'm going to go ahead and use these to get my grams up. And then if I need a little more you know, if I can't get an exact number, I'll use some of the cement silver. But then that'll purifies these even more. But yeah, we started with 33 and ended up with 9. That's not bad. Not a bad little deal. Plus all that silver chloride. Well, I can't say it's a lot, but it is a lot more than I would typically get. Aim you up here a little bit. So you can see there we did get quite a bit down there. So I'd say, I don't know, I can't say what that would be weighting in chloride. Can we say a gram? I think that would be equivalent to a gram of silver. Can we say we got 10 total? Well, I just wanted to thank you guys for watching the video. As usual, Fridays I will have that video dedicated for you. So if you want to send me some pictures or experiments you got going on, you know, of your lab or your silver, your gold, whatever you'd like to share, go ahead and send that to me. I'll have a link in the description, and we'll make sure we get that get you on the next video. So it's coming up quick. Coming up quick. Tomorrow's Wednesday already, so well, it'll be Wednesday when you see this. But thanks again, guys. I'll see you later.